Hello again, everybody. This is Craig Evans of Autism Hangout, and thank you for tuning into this Autism Hangout feature program series, Apps for Autism. Now, with me today is a developer of a series of interactive programs that are designed to help children build their own stories, their own questions, and their own sentences. So, Autism Hangout, please welcome developer Kyle Thompson. Kyle, it's really nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, there's so much excitement going on about iPads and the iTouch and the iPhone, and you're right there in the forefront. In fact, the reason I'm calling you today is that I met you through Moms with Apps, and you've got something that is really making headlines. So can you tell us a little bit about your products?
Well, I got into iPhone development for my daughter, Caitlin. She is 8 and she's on the spectrum, but very high functioning. And when we got her into preschool, we found this preschool had smart boards, and we found that if material was presented in a visual way on a smart board, which is a giant touchscreen, then she was able to pick material up very quickly and far above her grade level. Conversely, anything presented verbally, she would zone out and struggled mightily. And so as we were getting ready to transition her to the public school system, which didn't have smart boards, much higher verbal load in the classroom, my wife and I were looking for ways that we could supplement the verbal education we knew she was going to get with the visual one she needs. And that's when I got the idea, hey, let's get on iTunes and let's find some apps to help her with her language, because her issues were all revolved around language. And we got on iTunes, and although there were a lot of apps for autism, we could not find anything that really addressed her language needs. And my wife had 5 or 6 things that she really wanted to see, these applications do. And that's when I had my eureka moment when I said, hey, what about I develop these applications for her? And that started me on a journey that's been the most gratifying thing I've ever done in my life.
Now, you were a developer by day?
I am not. No, I work full-time. I do iPhone developing between 9 o'clock and when I can't keep my eyes open anymore.
And what you do for the iPhone, which is where you started, can conversely be used on iPad and iTouch. Is that correct?
That is correct. What I did in my applications, I started off with the iPhone because I got into this about 18 months ago and there was there wasn't an iPad back then. But what I did is I ported them over to the iPad, but the iPad has so much bigger screen that I actually changed the applications a little bit, because with what I'm trying to do here, if you just take an iPhone app and run it on an iPad, images get fuzzy, text gets fuzzy, and it's not as big as it could be. So I actually have separate apps between the two so I can really take advantage of everything the iPad has to offer.
There's a lot of energy around that right now. Well, let's take a look at some of your products. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Well, my first application was called Sentence Builder, and Sentence Builder was designed to teach Caitlin how to use the connector words in language.
Okay.
Words like table and cat and purple, they have more tangible meaning, and so they're easier to understand. But what is a the? What is an is? But the connector words are such a huge part of the English language that you need to know how to use them to be able to converse. And so Sentence Builder was designed to help teach her how to use that. The opening screen that you see here is real simple, where you can just put in their name and select the level of play. And then this switch down here allows you to set it up so that when they get the right answer, then an audio clip of the right answer will play to give more reinforcement for the correct answer.
Okay.
So if we move to the play screen,
make a sentence about the picture.
So what you have is a picture. And there's 100 pictures in Sentence Builder because I want to have lots of variety. And then you use this picker wheel where you select the words to make the sentence. In this case, the subject is always fixed, so we know, regardless of the level, that this is a sentence about the flowers. And then you use the picker wheel and you select the proper words, the proper connector words. So in this case, those flowers are pretty. And then you hit the select button, and when you hit the select button, this is a real important part, then an encouragement animation comes up. We bought a lot of software for Caitlin over the years, and this is the one thing I felt was really lacking, something fun that would really be engaging and make her want to play. It's the prize. So I hit the select button. And then you can move on to the next sentence, and then you can start over again.
Okay. Now, you said there's 100 pictures in here. Can anybody customize this?
That That is something that I'm working on, but it's not custom. You can't customize it quite yet.
Okay.
Again, I do this from 9 to midnight, and there's some pretty serious coding on there.
Oh,
So
I get that. And this is Sentence Builder. This is the first of three products.
This is Sentence Builder, right? So yeah, and that's the application. Pretty simple, and it's drilling the connector words. So.
Excellent. Okay, now this product is called Question Builder.
Yeah, and Question Builder was designed to address a completely different issue. Once Caitlin started having better sentence formation, started speaking more outside of the house, when we sat down with a conference with her first grade teacher, she told us that she was echoing questions back. She would be asked a question and she would just repeat the question, not answer it.
Sure.
And the teacher just could not find a way to get her to do what she wanted. And so she gave up and she just stopped asking Caitlin questions.
Yikes.
You know, go ahead.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah, and yeah, the exact opposite of what we want. So that night I got home and I started working on Question Builder. Now Question Builder, because this was such a serious problem, I designed this to have a lot of control over how the play developed while she was using it. So on top of this top section here where you can select the type of question, why, where, how, what, and a random, you have all these other switches here that can adjust the level of play. In essence, there are 27 levels of play in Question Builder, and there's over 600 questions being asked on this, so there's a ton of content. And at the lower levels, you have questions that are very direct about what you see in the picture, and lots of visual cues on the screen. And at the higher levels, the questions are more abstract, and all the visual cues have been taken away.
Now, I noticed with this and the other, you've titled, this is the setup screen, by the way, so you've titled the student name. Are you seeing teachers buying this as much as parents and caregivers?
I am seeing, I think, more teachers buying this than parents. At least I get more feedback from teachers that gives me visibility as to who's buying it.
Okay.
And so yeah, speech language pathologists, teachers, and parents.
Okay.
Let me move on to the play screen here. So this is what the main play screen looks like. Its framework is very similar to Sentence Builder. You have a picture, and then you have a picker wheel where you're selecting the answer. But in this case, you're being asked a question. And I'm going to hit the repeat question. Why is the beaver sleeping? And then you choose the answer from the picker wheel. So why is the beaver sleeping? Because the beaver is tired. You are the best. You are the best.
Great.
And get another animation. So, and I mean, I have over 30 animations in this, and this is the key to the program. I mean, this is what the kids really like. I mean, they're just laughing over that.
Well, your animations, by the way, are beautiful. These are not two-dimensional. These are three-dimensional. They're colorful. They have depth. They have texture.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I worked really hard on the animations part of it. So, and then you hit the next question, and children have flippers, and then you move on to the next one. And as a parent, it was really satisfying playing this with Caitlin because, I was there the day when she figured out what she was supposed to do with the question. She's supposed to answer it and not just repeat it back. We started playing this at spring break in first grade, and by the end of the year, her teachers tell us, she went from echoing every question back to never echoing a question back.
Oh my gosh.
The problem was completely arrested in 2.5 months, which is just wonderful as a parent to see.
Well, congratulations. I hope you're hearing the same thing come back from the field, especially the teachers.
I am. Yeah, a lot of speech language pathologists have gotten in contact with me and said really great things about this program. And the 600 questions, and this has 1,300 audio clips. And the reason why I did that is, and I think this is true with a lot of Spectrum kids, is that they're geniuses. And Caitlin has a photographic memory, we believe, and so I have so much content at this because I was afraid she was just going to memorize the answers and not really think about it, and so I just threw a ton of content at her to make sure that didn't happen. So, so yeah, that's Question Builder.
Okay, we've looked at Sentence Builder and Question Builder. Now we're going to look at Story Builder.
So Story Builder you can think of as a continuation of Question Builder. In Question Builder, a question is asked about a picture, and you pick the answer from a list. In Story Builder, I take away that last crutch. Because in Story Builder, there is no right answer. Instead, you get to record the answer in your own voice.
Wow.
So on this screen here, again, this is the setup screen where you can select the level of play and then a number of visual cues and how much visual help you want to have on the screen. And if I move to the play screen...
What time of day is it?
So you have the picture, and then you have a question, and then this is optional where you can have the first few words of a potential answer to get the student started. So if I hit the record button, it is nighttime. And then you can play the answer back. It is nighttime. And then you go on to the next question.
Where is the boy?
The boy is in bed at a camp.
Why is he crying?
He is crying because he misses his mom, his dad, and his brother.
When will he go home?
He will go home next week when the camp is done. And then, so after you've answered all the questions, then I stitch all of the answers together into a continuous narrative. So I'm going to hit the play story button. It is nighttime. The boy is in bed at a camp. He is crying because he misses his mom, his dad, and his brother. He will go home next week when the camp is done. And then you move on to the next picture.
What time of year is it?
The thing with Story Builder that I found interesting when I was doing some testing of this is, one, the Spectrum kids that played it were enthralled with it. I mean, just laughing and giggling hysterically as they were playing. But their non-Spectrum siblings enjoyed playing just as much. You know, something about being able to record and then hear your own voice back is just a real turn-on for kids of all ages. And the thing is, too, with Story Builder is that creating narratives is something that a lot of elementary kids have troubles with, and so I think there's a lot broader audience for Story Builder, and whereas most of the teachers for Question Builder and Sentence Builder were special needs teachers that contacted me, now I'm being contacted by a lot of mainstream teachers that are using this in their classroom with their mainstream kids.
Yeah, and whether it's a classroom setting or a familial setting at home, the nice thing about getting both NTs and Aspies or people on the spectrum side by side is you get that cohort effect. You get the older kid or the NT teaching the child on the spectrum.
Well, that's what, like, my best friend from college, I visited him in Chicago, and he's got two boys. One is pretty severely autistic, and then a non-spectrum kid, child. And they were playing together, and they were trading off. Like, one would answer one question, and then they traded off, the other would ask the question. And they were just having a grand time. It was kind of a bonding moment for the two brothers.
Oh my gosh, that's what a fabulous testament that was.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was well, and the thing is that the kids had so much fun playing this. You know, while playing Question Builder with Caitlin was really satisfying as a parent, Story Builder was just flat fun. I mean, you know, watching my two kids rolling on the ground, pounding their fists on the floor, they're laughing so hard, it's just a lot of fun to play. And they actually are both getting something out of it. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Where can people go to get more information on the product and about you?
Okay. To buy the applications, you go to the iTunes store, and if you type in either Sentence Builder, Question Builder, Story Builder, the apps will come up. Also, if you type in autism, all three applications will come up on the first or second screen. And then to get more information about me and the applications, you go to www.mobile-educationstore.com, and you can read more about the applications, find out more about the company, and that sort of thing.
Okay, that's just fantastic. My hunch is that you're working on some other ideas, but rather than talk about those now, I would love to have you back whenever you come up with something new.
And I do. I have two new things I'm working on currently, so I'm sure I will be.
Okay, that's just fantastic. Kyle, thank you for what you do for our special kids. I'm always delighted to see people out there that are help connect our kids with reality.
Thanks.
And thank you, Autism Hangout. I'll be back again soon with another Apps for Autism program.